Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Business and Banter. Today we have got one of the local heroes, and it's a pleasure and an honour to have him, Mr. Mark Stocks from Stocky's Gym.
Thanks, Ian. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to be invited. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
And you, mate.
Thank you for coming down.
Yeah,
so we really appreciate it.
Now, for people who don't know who are you and what do you do?
Right, my name's Mark Stocks. I'm the founder of Stocky's Gym. We've been established since 2009. In the last 3 years, we've gone 24 hours. I've also got a bodybuilding clothing company. I've had that for 32 years. And for 15 years, I was a competitive bodybuilder, ranging from local shows to Mr. Universe.
Okay, Mark, so we know about you. So me, Lee, and most of the town know about you because, like I said, you're a local legend, a hero. You've done a lot for everyone. But how did the journey start for you?
I've always been really sporty. At school, I was like inter-school sports champion, doing shot put and javelin. And then, like I say, I've always been really competitive. So after the javelin and shot put, I went on to skateboarding, and I did a lot of skateboarding. And I used to do the relay racing in between the cones with the real fast skateboards.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was rowing. And I've rowed for the county, I've rowed for Lincolnshire, rowed against Oxford and Cambridge and the schoolboys and all that sort of business. And it was basically the training for the rowing with the weights that kind of got me into the bodybuilding, as I could see my physique changing as a young teenager.
Yeah.
And then I saw a few magazines and thought, I wouldn't mind looking like that. Didn't realise what it took at the time and how long it took. I thought, I'll look like that in 6 months. Lesson learned, it took me 15 years to get a physique to compete, to be good enough to compete at. But yeah, so basically from a sporting background, it was the rowing, the training for strength for the rowing that encouraged me to take up bodybuilding and get into it more seriously.
So you've always been quite athletic from a young age?
Yeah, always competitive. I'm so competitive, I can't help it.
Do you have any brothers?
I say, I'm the guy at the traffic lights just got to get away first.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I've got a son and a daughter.
And brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I've got a brother and a sister as well.
So you're competitive with them, was you?
No, to be honest with you, there's a big age difference between them, and so we don't really have a lot to do with each other. We haven't fallen out or anything, but our life just took different dimensions. Okay. I mean, I spoke to my brother the other day. We do keep in touch and that, but he kind of laughs at me. I'm a bit of the wild child, I think. He says, you're the wild one. So it's quite funny, really. But yeah, I've got a lot of respect for him and all that sort of business.
Nice, yeah.
It's so sometimes in family these things happen. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we all know that at the end of the day, if something happened, we'd always be there for each other.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It was just my parents were post World War II parents, so they were a bit older. So I arrived on the scene quite late, actually. I think my mum was 40 and my dad was 44, so I was a bit of a late arrival. So the other siblings were like 16 and probably 18 by the time I came along.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of drifted apart. Regards, they were out doing grown-up life while I'm still a little kid.
Yeah.
But it was funny, but yeah, it works.
How was your childhood?
Childhood was brilliant. I can't fault my parents. My dad was, like I say, a World War II veteran, a tough guy, real tough guy, a bare knuckle boxer in the army and all that sort of business. Disciplined but fair, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mum was a nurse in the RNLE or whatever you call it, the Royal Navy in the war. So she had the medical background and childhood was ace. Most of it was to do with nature. My dad was from Suffolk originally. He's a proper. We used to go. You come in for a walk, lad, every day, like 10 mile a day. I was walking as a young boy over the river in the fields, catching frogs, snakes, newts. It was all wildlife, birds of prey. And my dad was fanatical, and so I got into all that sort of thing and fishing and all that, and I had a brilliant childhood. Yeah.
Do you think your father installed the discipline and strengthened you to get to where you got to? Do you think that was all natured from your father?
To a certain extent, I should say so, because like I say, I had a military background, and yeah, he was very. My dad was very get up and go, and no surrender sort of thing. Obviously, from what he was involved in, and that kind of rubbed off on me. I'm the most stubborn person. If you say I can't do it, I'll do it. Whatever you say I can't do, I'll do it.
Go on, Mark.
I can't help it. It's bred into me. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be. It's not a big-headed thing. It's just the way I think.
Yeah.
It's just the way I think. Everyone thinks different, and you need that mindset for bodybuilding. Bodybuilding's very hard, very severe, very demanding, emotional.
Yeah.
It's a lot. There's a lot more to it than people understand.
Yeah. You have to discipline yourself.
The discipline's unbelievable. It's not the 1 hour you spend in the gym is just part of it. The remaining 23 hours is the discipline side with what you eat and how you conduct yourself, how you rest, your sleep patterns, and it's it's a very
a lot of people think it's
misunderstood.
just going to the gym for an hour a day.
Yeah,
but it's not that, is it?
The gym bit's actually the counterproductive part. The gym bits, you're actually breaking the muscle tissue down, and if you want to be honest, you're doing your body harm, and that's the way the body grows. It's all you're doing really. Muscle building is you're responding to a stress, a stimulation you put on the body. You train your biceps, and you induce pain with intensity with the weights. So your body's a fantastic device. It thinks, I don't like that pain. I don't want that pain anymore. I'll make these biceps bigger so they can deal with that pain.
Yeah.
So obviously you go back to the gym and you lift heavier and reset that stimuli again. So your biceps think, I don't know what's going on here, but that hurt again. So I'll have to get bigger again. And basically that's what bodybuilding is. That's why
it's an inflammation response.
Yeah, that's right. If you use the same weight, you'd only get to a certain size because your body would learn to cope with that weight. Or intensity. Intensity is important. The level of stress you put on your body during a workout.
Yeah. What or who inspired you to become a bodybuilder?
I'm not one for heroes. I mean, you've got to take your hat off to Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he was the first guy that really brought bodybuilding to the general public and to the media with what he did. I mean, the Pumping Iron video that they brought out was absolutely fantastic, fantastic
for the time.
And then obviously he became a movie star and all that. So him and Sylvester Stallone and people like that brought bodybuilding into the general public and more of an acceptance. People that say, oh, these guys look good. It's not all the freak show that people thought it was originally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these sort of guys brought it into the eye of the public. Regards inspire me. It's got to be my old training partner, Gary Lister. He kind of put me on the right track. There's a really funny story with Gary, and we have to laugh about it, but we used to do Hemswell Market. Obviously, I've said I had the bodybuilding clothes, and we was there one Sunday as we was. I think it was probably August, September. I tend to think it was a bit cooler because of the way the conversation's going. And this big guy in a bomber jacket just turned up with his wife, and he was a lump. He was a big guy. Unbeknownst to me, that was Gary, and we hit it off straight away. We got talking. This was 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
Early 90s then.
Yeah, 1996. He was just getting ready for Mr. Britain. Unbeknown to me, I'd seen him before, and he had his arm in a pot. He broke his arm. I'd done something, I think. But anyway, we hit it off, and we got talking, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm really into my bodybuilding. Obviously, I want as big as him, but I was getting there. Do you know what I mean?" And Gary said, "I'll have to come and train with you on Monday," and that Monday lasted 15 years.
Wow.
We trained together for 15 years. Awful. It was crazy.
That's what you call a friendship.
Yeah, that Monday. Oh yeah, well, our brothers. That Monday lasted 15 years. I remember it was like an engagement. They were just there all the time. It was crazy. mind-boggling, brutal workouts. The guy's an animal. He was huge. He was strong. I just followed suit because of, like I said, my nature. If you're going to lift that, I'm going to lift that. And I put stones on training with him. I went from 16 stone, which was a fairly decent sized bodybuilder, to about 20 stone.
Yeah.
And I can't explain our workouts, but not many people could match. And we had guys come in, we had pro bodybuilders coming and training with us, and they're on their hands and knees.
So basically,
they're on their hands and knees saying, "Wow, you guys train so hard."
So basically, Gary is the person who kind of inspired you.
Yeah, he was the guy that gave me the bullet. I'd never even dreamt about competing. Never even dreamt about it. No, I didn't. I thought I'd never be good enough to compete. And I can remember the conversation. He said to me, "You want to get ready to compete, Mark?" When I said, "Well, I don't know if I'm big enough." He says, "You weigh 20 stone. How big do you want to get?" You know what I mean? So yeah, and then we always supported each other for our competitions, and obviously he was a lot more successful than me. He's one of Britain's best ever bodybuilders. And he's won everything there is, time and time again, unbeaten. You name it, he's won it. He's won everything there is in the Federation NABA, Natural Amateur Bodybuilding Association. He's the top boy, one of the top. But he's gone in the NABA History of Hall of Fame and all that sort of business.
Wow! So he's like levels.
Oh, he's the highest.
He's
level.
Cemented it basically.
Yeah, he's the highest level.
Jeez.
A brilliant athlete, brilliant, great friend. Yeah, we've got so many stories. Hilarious man.
He's still going strong then, isn't he?
Yeah, I've seen him today. Like I say, I see him every Thursday, and we're both downsized dramatically now. I'm probably 5 stone lighter than I used to be, and I think Gary's down to 16 stone summits, but looks really fit, really lean.
Yeah.
We definitely need to get both of these brothers on. We've got a good friendship, but them two. Yeah. It would be brilliant.
That would be good.
Oh yeah, Gary. Yeah, I think he'd be up for that. He's got so many stories to tell, and he's he's a brilliant bodybuilder and a brilliant friend as well. Yeah. So it's good. Yeah.
Okay, Mark. So you're obviously talking about competitions, competing. What have you competed in, and who else have you put into competitions as well?
Right, okay. I've done all the competitions, local and international. I've done all the Mr. Britons and all the local area shows that we have. I've done the Mr. Universe, Mr. World, Mr. Europe.
And what positions and what have you won?
I've won a few of that. Well, the best way to sum it up is I've got 23 trophies at home, and 19 of them are top 3 placings. To be fair, Miss Universe I came 7th. But we're talking in a time when bodybuilding was a lot more popular, so that's 7th out of like about 20 people. So you're like ranked 7th in the world that year in theory. When I did the Mr. World, I come 9th out of 44 competitors.
Some going.
Round of applause.
There was a little
round of applause.
Yeah, I kind of messed up on that one, but yeah, but that was I've done, like I say, done loads of shows. I've won prize winning shows and all sorts. To be fair, my bodybuilding career got cut a little bit short, but it was things were out of my hands, and it wasn't no one's fault. My missus got really poorly and sort of things, and so I had to kind of reel it in a bit. And but it's nobody's fault. She didn't get poorly on purpose, bless her. So that's just the way it was. I was just. Some guys that I'm talking to on the Facebook, some pro bodybuilders said that they'd have seen me as a pro bodybuilder a few years down the road, but obviously it didn't happen, not to be. But there's no hard feelings or anything involved in that. It's just life throws us a curveball sometimes.
And now let's flip this on the coaching side. What's your highest achieving student? So what have they?
I've trained so many people for so many different things. I mean, originally I was training in the 90s. I was training people to go on the film show, Gladiators. I was getting people.
No way!
Gladiators.
I seem to remember something.
Oh my God!
His name's happened again. Ashton Wolf.
Yeah, Ashton Wolf.
I went to school with Ashton.
Yeah, Ashton Wolf was a really big guy in Gainesville. Brilliant genetics, real nice guy.
He's in
He's
South Africa.
yeah,
now.
well, he's in. I think he's retired now. He's living in America with his wife.
Oh, right now.
But there's some great lads. Alan Grundy. Alan was the founder of the original gym in Gainsborough. Great guy, obsessed with bodybuilding, and he was the founder of the gym in Gainsborough. Alan now lives in Australia, and he's still looking really good. He's coming over in October, and he looks really good. He's another guy. Very vision guy, very successful guy.
There's another two we should get.
Yeah,
at the same
very
time.
vision, very successful. The original gym was just across the road there, just where the Horsley's building is.
Oh,
That was the first gym. It was a ballet school, I think. Then I helped Alan get it ready, turned it into, it's called Reps Gym. And then it went to.
I remember that.
Then it went to.
I wasn't here at this point.
Then it went to the bus depot up near the Jet Garage near Trent Bridge for a few years, and then it ended up where our gym is. And then Alan had it for so many years, and then Gary Lister, the guy I'm talking about, who I train with, he bought it, and then I bought it off Gary. But the actual gym's been a gym for about 30 years. That building.
Perfect.
A lot of history. We had world champion bodybuilders training there, men and women at one time.
What inspired you to open your gym, and when did you open it?
Right, okay. And like I said to you a bit earlier, the founder of the gym, a guy called Alan Grundy, he emigrated to Australia. I can't remember the year, and obviously he said, "Mark, do you want to buy the gym?" Well, unfortunately, at the time, we just invested a lot of money into starting our other business, which is the clothing business, what I've mentioned. So we didn't have the money and was quite gutted about it. But Gary Lister, the guy who I've also spoken about, he bought the gym. He said, "I'll buy the gym."
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Gary owned it till 1999. Was it 2000? 2009, sorry. 2009.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I'm going to open the gym in Arworth. If you want to buy the gym, Mark, you can." And so I initially started the gym. I bought the gym in 2009, and it was rented off Spriggins and Blaine, and the gym was upstairs.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. The gym was a success. It was rammed. It was like a nightclub. The music thumping out, the atmosphere, and so many people joined. It was just fantastic. And within like 3 years, we ended up buying the building. We bought the building. It was a case of, I've always been one that I don't like to get too big for my boots, and I don't like to take on things that I'm uncertain about. So I thought I either get a bigger unit. Everyone loves this gym. It's established where it is. It's been a gym for 28 years or 30 years. So I don't want to take the history away either. So I thought we'll buy the building. And it came up for sale at a good price, so we bought the building. And then obviously, once we bought the building, we could use the downstairs as well, which was used for storage for the builders that owned it at the time. So it gave us twice as much space. So we set up downstairs as well with all the heavy duty stuff that doesn't stress the ceiling as much.
Yeah.
Although the ceiling's really well supported because it used to be an old mill holding the 22 stone sacks, what they had in them days. So it's very secure and very strong. So like I said, I bought the gym off Gary 2009 on the rented basis off Spriggins and Blaine, and then in 2012 Blaney wanted to retire. He was getting on, so he said, "If you want to buy the building," and I said, "Definitely." So we got the building and used both floors, and never looked back, really. It went from strength to strength.
And how many years have you had it as Stocky's, and it's been in your hands?
Stocky's gym now for 15 years. 15 years.
Yeah.
Mark, so we as business people, all of us, we're all self-employed, we know the great times with business. But have you had dark times and lonely times with business and the struggle?
The dark times for us was during the COVID epidemic. I'll not say too much about that because I've got my own
we say the same thing, brother.
Yeah.
I've got my own opinions on that. But obviously it was a dark time because the gyms were shut, and we were one of the last people to reopen as well because of whatever reason the government saw at the time.
Yeah.
But so that we kind of turned the dark time into a good time because we totally used the time to refurbish the gym. We painted every single thing in the gym, the walls, the ceilings, every single weight got painted again. So we used it as a positive thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were getting help from the government, and that just stayed in the kitty and went towards all the bills. So, but that was the only dark time we've really had, was during the COVID epidemic, and we had a few people that were, to be honest with you, quite suicidal and a lot of gyms had that problem because a lot of people were really affected by it.
I mean, the gyms were shut when ideally they needed to be open.
I don't know what the government were thinking about. For a lot of people, the gyms. Therapy, it's mental therapy. It's not just about the physical aspect, it's the spiritual and the, for mental well-being. And they couldn't establish that people would actually commit suicide. I know a few of my friends and gym owners that actually committed suicide during the COVID epidemic, so it was pretty bad. But they weren't getting it. Why would someone want to do that? Because they can't lift weights, but it's not about. It was about what it did for their mental state.
Exactly. Yeah.
So unfortunately, there was a few suicides in the bodybuilding community. Some very well-established bodybuilders. It was a shame. It was a bad time for all gyms, not just ours.
I was in the same boat because I was shut, and when I could see Mark crossing or something, I'd be like, "How's things?" And then we're in the same gym, so it's a gym business. Whether it's a boxing gym, a weights gym, or a whatever kind of, it's a gym at the end of the day. We're in the same industry. And it's like, I just used to catch up with Mark and be like, "Oh, how you doing? You okay?" And obviously I've seen the revamp they were doing, and I did the same thing. And
just turn a negative into a positive.
We did all your gym.
I had a few cleaners in the gym that'd come and clean and paint that were high risk, if you know what I mean.
So on that subject, like obviously suicide, depression, stress, mental health, I can say this firsthand myself. You have done a lot for me personally.
I really appreciate that.
And you've helped me in the worst times in my life, the most difficult times I've ever had. I've come to Stocky's and I've either spoke to you.
I can remember you on one occasion you phoned me up and we had quite a long conversation. Obviously that's between me and you, but I can remember that as well, mate. Yeah, and you was in a dark place.
And again, I was saying this to Lee, what makes you separate from anyone else is you care. You're a great human being.
Thanks.
And it's you can get other gym owners that, again, it's just about memberships and moolah and the money, but to have a personal connection with that person, it's a whole different story.
We do value our members, and I mean Chris is the same. She loves them to bits, and they all call her the mum of the gym. She's
100%.
Mama, and we just, because the gym's it's not on the scale of Snap Fitness or the Leisure Centre, and that was never my intention. I didn't want that, because with that volume of people, it becomes just robotic. The emotions,
it's more of a personalised thing,
that's right. There's everyone's a number and not a member. And
wow,
you know what I mean?
That's good.
Wow, not a number.
Remember.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like I say, we like to keep it. The gym's doing really well. We're getting to the stage where we pick and choose our members now.
Because I read that on Facebook, I think last week it was, because when Amara goes to school, I know where I'm going straight back.
Well, you're welcome back, you know that. Yeah.
So, obviously, like I said, Mark, like I said, you've been there for me personally, but I know people that have spoke exactly the same way when it's come to their mental health, stress, depression, anxiety. They all go, Mark Stock spoke to me. Mark Stock's been there for me. Mark's done this for us.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. I don't even think about it. I just do it, you know what I mean? And same with Chris, we're very similar in our ways. We do like to help people. And it's not always about a financial gain, because, it's just sometimes you help people without realising. if somebody's genuine and they need the help, then I don't mind helping them. There's a lot of fake people out there now, unfortunately, but you can normally suss them out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. But we've helped people. I have helped a lot of people, like you said before, get ready for numerous people wanting to join the army, the Marines, gladiators, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman. Well, I mean, we had a strongman gym for 2 or 3 years as well at one stage, but that didn't quite get off because strongman's it's getting bigger now, but it's still not really. The strongmen are scattered all over the country.
Yeah.
So the gym didn't take off regards. There's not that many strongmen in any area. There's quite a few in Scunthorpe, and we had a lot of lads coming. I mean, the only benefit we got from the gym is it helped my lad Ashton, who got really successful in strongman and won a lot of titles, and he was up there with Tom Stoltman and that in his time before he had to have back surgery and unfortunately pull out. But Ashton was a really good strongman.
What did Ashton win?
Ashton won England's Strongest Junior. He was one of the first British juniors to do the first ever World Strongest Junior. He represented England in that. He's been on telly numerous times. You can't miss him. He's got a great big red mohawk. And he's been on telly for various competitions. They did Sky TV did like a show about him and other strongmen, and we had the Sky guys at the gym filming us and all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Ashton was a very good strongman. He'd have been very successful if it wasn't due to illness. But now he's, as he says to me the other day, he's into his Brazilian jiu-jitsu now, and he says, I've come down to a nice lean 19 stone fighting weight.
I saw him the other day.
Yeah.
He didn't spot me, but I was quite far away, and I spotted him, and I was like, that's the leanest and best I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he was 24 stone when he was doing strongman, so he's lost 5 stone. He's an enigma, mate. He's as fit as hell. He does things he shouldn't be able to do. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows about him. Even when he was big, he was doing like one-hand handstands, flips, and also walking on his hands. He's very flexible, and he'll make a great fighter. I should imagine he'll eventually start competing in the Brazilian. He's just doing it now. He's only just recently started, but he's already winning everyone. He's even beat the instructor twice. He sent me a video of him the instructor tapping out with an armbar not so long back. But he's still very strong. He's still a lot stronger than the average guy. So give him some fighting skills as well. And there
you go. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how it started, how the gym came about, and how you start competing. But let's get into something a bit personal. What are your interests and hobbies?
Right. I've got an array of hobbies. I like fishing. I'm into my fishing at the moment. I'm especially catfishing and.
I wasn't expecting that.
Predator fishing. I'm into piking and I'm off catfishing on my birthday, September the 2nd. I'm going fishing for a couple of days, camp out for the big catfish.
Yeah.
So I'm Audi obsessed. Yeah, I've got 2 Audi cars. I've always been Audi for as long as I can remember. I take my cars to shows. That's
the only way to go, mate, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I take my cars to shows, and I've got an Audi S2 that's 32 years old that's won German car shows, and it's won best interior as well. It's a hell of a car. I love it. It's like a love relationship with that car. Just recently bought another RS6 due to unforeseen circumstances, but I'll not go down that one at the moment. But I love Audis. Brilliant. Passionate about them.
I like your cars a lot. I've seen a few of them.
What else I've got into, this is quite funny because my missus shakes her head. When I was a teenager, I was really into punk music. It's really into punk rock. Proper punk, spiky hair, orange, white, leather jackets, bondage trousers. And I got back into punk. I am going to all the punk concerts again now. I was at one on Saturday. And she comes along, my missus, and she says, "What have I got?" But she's actually enjoying some of them. But she's got used to all the people are there with the spiky hair. Obviously, I can't got the spiky hairs out the window now. But I love it. It's took me back to my teens. I love the punk music. It's what I like about it as well is it was making a statement. It was even in them days we were telling the government, you know what?
Like Sex Pistols.
Yeah,
was
that's
very
right.
political.
100%. The government and they tried to turn people against the punks because they were preaching the truth and what was going on around, and they tried to turn it around. But hey, it's 45 years and punk bands are still
about. They call
about.
them conspiracy theorists today.
Yeah. Punk bands are still here, mate, and they're never going.
I've never listened to rock or punk or any of that.
Yeah.
But when I've come in and listened to it, I'm like, well, this is definitely different, this kind of music.
Yeah.
But I know you enjoy it so much.
Oh, yeah. I'm really passionate about a German band called Rammstein as well. I'm really big into Rammstein. I've seen them on numerous occasions. And the funny story about Rammstein, going back to Gary Lister, they've got an album out called Mutter. And if you're not familiar with Rammstein, you won't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I do.
This Mutter album, me and Gary trained to mutter the album every day of every week of every month for 10 years. That album must have been worn out. That was our go-to training CD for every day of the week for 10 years.
Wow.
Mutter,
good
Rammstein goes
music.
on. Yeah, very good. We also post to a lot of Rammstein songs on stage as well.
It's not bad to drive to as well.
No, yeah.
So, what else? Do you do anything else? Any cooking? Any baking?
I'm a brilliant cook, mate.
Oh, are you?
There ain't a bodybuilder that isn't. When you're when you're a bodybuilder, you have to be a good cook. You have to be a good cook because you can't expect your missus to cook 6 or 8 meals a day. So yeah, I can cook. I enjoy cooking.
Wow, I'll say that as a joke, but wow.
I like to cook big Christmas dinners for the family at Christmas and all that sort of business. My missus helps me, but I do like cooking.
I've seen some of the steaks you've... I'm not joking. I'm a bit of a foodie and I can eat. But when it comes to Mark's meals compared to mine, I'm like, how? How can...
My
honestly,
appetite's nothing to what it was. There was a picture in the bodybuilding magazine of me one day. I'd just done a show and it was in Southport and the show was over, so we all used to go to eat. And this certain restaurant I was in, someone took a picture. I'd ordered... On the table there was a picture. There was 3 lamb kleftikos, which is a leg of lamb meal. I had 3 of them on the table. I had 3 starters. I can't remember the starters, and I had 3 desserts. And I ate all that straight after the show.
Jesus.
And they put it in a magazine somewhere saying, "Do you think you'll eat all this?" And it was quite funny.
Okay, Mark. So, what does the future hold for you? Personally and for the business?
Good question. The way the gym's going, I haven't got any plans to alter it. It's like if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. Do you know what I mean? The gym's running really well. It's really smooth. The memberships are good. So regards to the gym, I just think just let it carry on as it is, unless I need to make any, change it in any way. If anything occurs where it needs to be readdressed, and then we'll do it according to. But the members are happy, the gym's functioning well, and it's successful, to be honest with you. So we're happy regards the gym. For the future for us, just take more time to do our own thing, because like I said, the gym gives us that advantage now. We don't need to be there all the time. So, like say, me, Chrissy, the family, or whatever, we can pursue our interests. We've got a holiday home down in Norfolk, so we spend a lot of time down there. We love it down there. The countryside's fantastic. And we've got a whole new life. We've got loads of new friends down there and all that. So we spend a lot of time down in Norfolk, and the way the gym is, it allows that. So that was a real game changer, going 24. So the future with regards me, like I say, just chill out more, spend more time with people that mean a lot, and just enjoy my hobbies, more fishing, more Audi driving, more Audi driving, more punk concerts, for definite. Loving it.
And
that's the way to be.
And if somebody wanted to become a member of Stocky's, obviously we'd get hold of you guys on Facebook, and that's at Stocky's Gym.
Yeah, well, we've got a Facebook page. There's contact numbers outside the gym as well. a lot of people can contact us via friends. It happens in so many different ways. Friends recommend it, Facebook, or someone who walk past the gym, see the contact numbers for me and Chris, so they ring us. Like I say, we just the membership's just like down to our discretion now.
Yeah.
If somebody applies that's probably got a bit of a bad rep in town, then you don't got much chance of being accepted.
Yeah.
It's like one big family at the moment, and every client you take on is a potential. Especially if you don't know them, they're a potential threat to upset the apple cart, and we're not prepared to do that. So we I'll be honest, we pick and choose our members.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah.
And obviously that stops it. Like, if you've got 20 people come in, but things are working quite smoothly, you might not know them 20 people, so it puts a massive risk on it as well. So I kind of get it from that.
Yeah, 100%. We've got a lot of members we don't know very well at the moment. Luckily, we're like a fairly good judge of character, and all the new members are just as good as the old ones.
Yeah.
I prefer people to have a training background because of the way the gym is now, and it's unmanned a lot of the time. I don't mind showing people if they've got a bit of an idea, but we don't normally take new beginners on anymore because there's just a risk factor to themselves and the gym.
Yeah.
I've always found from experience that people with a training background are more suited, and like I say, I am prepared to train certain people, but I kind of look for, like I say, a bit of fire in the bellies, if you like.
Yeah, if they've got the knowledge of know-how already.
Yeah, and they want to. You can tell when people are serious. They want, if somebody comes to me and says, "I want to lose this, that, the other, lose some weight or gain some muscle," you can often tell.
Yeah.
By their enthusiasm, whether they're going to be a potential good member or a potential here today, gone tomorrow member. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've gone through everything, obviously regarding your business, your personal life, interests, your hobbies, but there's one key element we have not spoken about yet, and that is the mum of the gym, the amazing Chrissy. I can say Chrissy's just phenomenal. She's always treated me absolutely amazingly. And again, she's just there for everybody as well. So Mark, could you say some special things about Chrissy?
Yeah, well, Chrissy's unique. She's fantastic. She's the strongest woman I know. She's been through so much. Like with the cancer, she had heart surgery twice and all that. She just soldiers on. I mean, I was more scared than she was during the heart surgery. I was terrified, and she just said, "Get on with it. It needs to be done. It's got to be done." And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this woman's made of steel. And then she had to have the second open heart surgery 6 months after the first one because it failed.
Jeez.
So that I was really panicking then. And she says, "It's got to be done, Mark. Just get on with it." Do you know what I mean? And then, like I say, just recently she had a cancer scare. And she had to have surgery, but touch wood, she's had the all clear now, so that's good. But Chris is the driving force. She's been my driving force in a lot of ways. With the competing, the gym, she's the sound of mind person. She's the one that makes the conscious decisions and keeps me on the straight and narrow, really, because I can get I can be a bit wild at times, and I go a bit off a tangent, and she'll say, rein me in and say, "No, Mark, that's not the way to do it. We need to," and I'll say, "Yeah, you're right." She was the inspiration behind going 24 hours. Yeah. She was. She said to me a few years ago, 2 more years at this gym, then we're going to go 24 hours. And I said, yeah. But then she got the cancer and the cancer scare. So she says, that 2 years is gone now. Now we're going 24 hours now. And that was the best decision we ever made. And that was her shout. And like I say, she's good at the moment. The cancer clear, the hearts. She had a heart checked again recently. And so that we got thumbs up. It's as good as it can be. And she lives life, Chris. She just does. She loves it. She loves people. She's the person, if I'm honest, that made me a people person.
Okay.
I wasn't a people person. I was the guy that growled in the background.
Wow. I would have never expected you to say that.
She made me a people person.
Yeah.
She did. And she's really good with people. Like I say, a lot of people are lads at the gym. She's like the mum that she gets all their problems and like I say, the mental health issue and things. Always on the phone, always there for people. not selfish, but never puts herself first. Like I say, even when she was poorly, she was helping other people and putting her own things aside. So yeah, she's definitely a special woman to me.
Very selfless
100%.
woman.
Yeah, 100%. Very strong-willed, very passionate, very. Yeah, she won't back down. There's an old saying that not only me but a few guys say it, and we say that if you was a man, you'd be the toughest guy in Gainesville. Quite a few people say that. It's quite funny, really, because yeah, she is made of something special without a doubt.
She's basically your biggest fan, biggest supporter.
Yeah, 100%.
All of your achievements, so thanks. Obviously, part to Chris as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's fair to say that you won't be where you are now.
No, I can honestly say that. I think that there's a saying, isn't it, behind every man there's a great woman, and in my case, to be fair, she's supported me, she's reined me in, she's kept, we have our dark times, and bodybuilding can be really emotional, like I said to you, and you can underestimate yourself, belittle yourself, and and she'll say, no, Mark, that's not the case. You will be a champion. You will do this or that. You know what I mean? So
it's
I know a lot, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
100%.
Yeah.
Chrissy, you're absolutely amazing. When I became a dad, honestly, like you know my story. Obviously, Lee knows my story. Like, I was really young. I was only like 22. Became a full-time single dad, and like Chrissy she would tell me and show me how to burp her and stuff like that. Bro, it was just a learning curve and just stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it was.
They all bring their babies to the gym to show Chris. Yeah, it's quite funny, but all the new arrivals end up at the gym sooner or later.
Yeah.
She loves people. She's a real people person.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you got on the wrong side if you've got your handful. She is a strong-willed woman. She won't back down from anything. Like I say, even at the punk concerts, for a laugh, there was an incident a while back. We was at this punk concert, and you know how everyone pushes to the front, and we was at the front, and there's this great big skinhead behind Chris, trying to get past, and she spins around. She goes, "Where do you think you're going?" He says, "Past you. I want to get past." She says, in no uncertain way, she says, "You're not coming past me, mate." And the skinhead guy said, "I've never been spoken to like that." and he just walked away shaking his head. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. But that's what she's like. She won't back down.
No,
she won't back down. It's fun. She's a character.
Like I can agree with you. With Chrissy, it's like what she says she'll stick with, and whether anyone has an opinion or not. If you don't know her, you'll go, "Oh, she's saying this or that and the other," but you might not know her. But how I know her, I can say firsthand, she's been brilliant with me. Yeah, brilliant with me. Yeah, always been like that. So like,
the lads at the gym respect her. I think they're more scared of her than me. I honestly do. Yeah, when she says jump, they're jumping. Yeah, but there's a lot of respect for her, and it's good. It's a good thing. Yeah, for definite.
All right, Mark. It's been brilliant you coming down and telling us your story. Very much appreciated, mate.
Yeah, I've really appreciated it. Yeah, thanks for the chance to express myself and vocalise. I'm normally quite quiet in the background, so
you have to come down again.
Mark,
thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for coming on.
We'll definitely do this again.
I'll see if Gary will come. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. By all means, it'd be a pleasure to get both of you guys on.
Yeah.
So we had a wish list.
Or even Aaron. If Aaron comes, we could have me, Gary, and Aaron, all the three founders of the gym, the history of the gym.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
But Aaron's here in October from Australia. He's coming to. He'll be training at the gym straight away. He's to go straight to the gym. He loves it.
There we go. We had a wish list, and on that wish list, we picked 3 names. One of them was Mark, and I said to Lee, I says, "Listen, this wish list, if we can get Mark Stocks, that's one of them completed. I'll be more than happy if we can get that." So the fact that Mark's done it, we owe you one massively, brother.
It wasn't easy, though, I've got to say.
A VIP person like Mark, it's hard to get hold of. So
I have been really busy. Like I say, I've got a lot. I find that the more time I've got on my hands, the busier I am. It's not focusing around the gym, but there's so many other things you can be.
Yeah.
And I'm not a person that sits down and just lounges
100%.
about. I can't do that. I find that the older I get, I need to be more active to just keep that fitness there. And you know, it's nice to wake up to have something to do, not just think, well, what am I going to do today? So I set myself goals every day. Well, at least one goal a day. And it just keeps you sane, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Thank you, Mark, for coming on. Pleasure.
No worries.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Thanks for coming, Mark.
You're welcome.